Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, it's considered a major breach of confidentiality. Privileged client-lawyer discussions recorded at Risdon Prison over a 2-month period in 2017. Lawyers are now calling for a commission of inquiry as to why it was allowed to happen.
It's a cornerstone of our justice system, allowing prisoners to speak with legal representatives in private.
The expectation is that you are there and not being eavesdropped on.
The administration of justice depends on people being able to have confidential discussions with their lawyers.
Client-lawyer confidentiality at Risdon Prison, however, is facing scrutiny. In June 2017, police received a warrant to bug a conference room, targeting Sunil Fraser lawyer Jeffrey Ian Thompson, on allegations of perverting the course of justice, which were later dropped. The evidence deemed inadmissible by Supreme Court Justice Brett last month, a decision suppressed until last week. In a bombshell, Justice Brett revealed the devices were left on continuously for 2 months, picking up numerous private appointments.
That is a long period of time when you consider that there's any number of people who visit professionally.
While the Justice stated he believes those other conversations weren't accessed, lawyers are looking back.
I've had a look today and know that I had at least one conference with a prisoner during that period.
I was there during that period, and I know of other colleagues who were there during that period. I've been contacted by a number of inmates.
Government MPs this morning reluctant to discuss the matter.
I understand that that's a matter that the police are investigating and dealing with right now. I don't have any further comment on it.
But this afternoon, Police Minister Felix Ellis revealed he'd asked the Commissioner to find ways to prevent this from happening again, also adding the advice will be tabled in Parliament. Opposition MPs, however, want an independent inquiry.
The government need to explain how such a thing can occur.
A serious erosion of trust in the police and also the effectiveness of our justice system.
The legal fraternity also calling for an investigation.
Having spoken to some colleagues interstate, there is genuine shock that a listening device would be left running in a prison, of all places.
Police Commissioner Darren Hine this afternoon announced a review of the incident will be led by former Solicitor General Michael O'Farrell. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Glenorchy's Benjafield and Berrydale childcare centres are receiving a significant cash injection to maximise sustainability and potential. More than $500,000 will go towards building maintenance, equipment and staffing in the council-run centres, both more than 30 years old.
It's a small price to pay to ensure that families can work, businesses, local businesses have staff and can keep operating, and of course to contribute to the development of our children of the future.
It comes after the centres were forced to stop operating on Fridays, a decision that will remain until Christmas. Tasmania will have some of the country's most skilled eyes in the sky this bushfire season. Local firefighters are among the nation's first to undertake highly specialised aerial training as we brace for summer blazes.
Our firefighting Falcon's bird's eye view.
We'll just chuck it around there, please, mate.
Inside the cockpit, Tasmanians learnt the latest lessons on how to fight fires.
It's the first for Australia that we're rolling out this training.
Where to spot crucial information.
That's as far as we need to go on that edge.
How to suppress any threats.
The fuels are she-oak.
More weapons in our aviation arsenal.
Which is critical to suppression of wildfire, as well as supporting the state's hazard reduction program.
The bushfire season is still a little while away, but these skills will help prepare vast tracts of land for the worst.
We burn tens of thousands of hectares each year, and this will guide them and train them in aerial incendiary.
And with this warning from the Weather Bureau,
looking at Western Tasmania, there's increased chances of drier than average conditions.
Our southwest wilderness could be in danger this spring.
We've really got to be cognizant we get onto fires really quick in those remote parts of Tasmania this season.
These specialised skills making sure every fire is fought to the highest standard. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
The Australian Education Union has launched further strike action today as it struggles with teachers leaving the sector. It comes as our state's educators are faced with another pressing issue as more and more videos emerge of shocking student violence. We warn some viewers may find vision in this following story disturbing.
These are the educators hitting the streets, calling for more support and better conditions. Teachers from Montrose Bay High School striking this afternoon.
They're calling for a government to treat them with respect. We've had issues with workload for many years now, and we have not seen solutions come forward from this government.
The union claims 36 teachers left the profession in their first 5 years. They're also dealing with other issues behind school gates, with more violence flooding social media. A recent schoolyard altercation saw a Year 7 student attacked by his peer at a Northern District school.
There's no place for violence of any kind in our schools. Violence and bullying is not okay anywhere, anytime.
The Education Department responding with a written statement stating the school is aware of these incidents and appropriate consequences and safety measures have been put in place. Also saying every student deserves to go to school and feel safe. But Nightly News 7 Tasmania has spoken to a parent who confirmed it's an ongoing problem and nothing is being done to address the issue.
It's always disappointing to see violence in schools, and I think it goes to show the resources that need to be in schools.
Other videos on board school buses have also emerged. Jack's Bus Service says it's issued written warnings and suspensions to those involved in recent incidents and are working with schools to provide safe and reliable travel for all students. Earlier this week, more videos surfaced of a fight breaking out in a Hobart high school. The Department of Education is calling for parents to report matters that may be an offence to police to prevent more instances like this. McKenna Bailey, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian students living with a disability are now reaping the benefits of a multi-million-dollar revamp after years learning in ageing infrastructure and without a dedicated library. Upgrades to the Southern Support School have been 6 years in the making, helping address inclusivity and growing enrolments.
Combating challenges different to those of a mainstream classroom, meeting their goals at this campus every day.
Sometimes a student may verbally speak for the first time, take their first steps after years of hard work.
Helping to reach their potential, 90 students were welcomed into a new state-of-the-art building this term.
Once you meet the young people yourself and you can see the love and care that's needed to ensure that they have as full and enjoyable, successful life as possible, it's a no-brainer.
With more than $8 million of renovations complete, the benefits are expected to flow on to the hard-working staff.
Within a class of 7 or 8 students, there are 7 or 8 different learning programs running to support the individual needs of each student.
Fitted out with additional flexible learning rooms and accessible amenities.
In the process, literally giving them a voice and opening up their horizons to communicate with their family and to participate in our community.
The school worked closely with architects and disability consultants to ensure the spaces were calm and predictable, with a large portion of students living with autism.
The building has used the autism palette of soft greys and soft blue hues, which creates a calm, orderly environment, as well as lots of wood finishes.
Home to the only support school in southern Tasmania, the investments expected to cater for years to come. Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
A new garden has been installed at Launceston's Carvilla Memorial Park. Spanning across 2.5 acres, phase 1 of the project houses nearly 5,000 ash placements.
This space is quite a contemporary, modern space, which allows beautiful beds, which allow for single and double depth ash placements, as well as the beautiful granite walls and the granite niches.
We believe this is a lovely setting, a good outlook, and it's just that the purpose is so that we've got room for people for the next 5 to 10 years, and we hope that it's something that people will enjoy being able to come here and visit and to see the ashes of their loved ones.
The initiative is part of the City of Launceston's Accelerated Capital Works program and aims to provide a peaceful place of remembrance for bereaved families. The Alcohol, Tobacco and Other Drugs Council has unveiled 3 new interactive artworks across the state to mark International Overdose Awareness Day. The Tasmanian community has banded together to fold thousands of origami paper cranes, which make up the installations based in Devonport, Launceston and Hobart.
This year the theme is a forest of cranes, so the idea is we've got trees for people to hang the cranes on. The thought is that if you fold 1,000 cranes you can then make a wish. So the Alcohol, Tobacco and Drug Council of Tasmania have started this day to remember overdose and those impacted by overdose.
In recent years, the number of Tasmanians who have died from unintentional overdose has outnumbered lives lost on our roads. A generous donation has started the process of brightening up Hobart CBD. Philanthropist couple Douglas and Jenny Amati have joined with Hobart City Council to launch the Our City Canopy Fund. Funded by public contributions, it will help with the purchase of trees as part of Council's aim to increase the city's urban canopy to 40% by 2046.
We really look at the context of the site and we look at what we want to achieve.
Both Jenny and I have been passionate about our whole lives, and we will continue to be till the day we drop, and when we drop there'll be a nice chunk of money that will come to the city to advance this program.
For more information, visit the Our City Canopy website. A new state-of-the-art facility is making it easier for students to step into Tasmania's agriculture sector. It's hoped the Jordan River Learning Farm will develop student skills through hands-on experience.
Lifting the veil on an educational hub worth $4.3 million. The Jordan River Learning Farm isn't your typical classroom, offering vocational learning for those with a passion for agriculture and land care.
I had a patchy start to Year 8 and I missed half of my Year 8, and coming to the farm helped me get back into school.
From a new kitchen and butchery area to a science lab, upgraded machinery and fresh learning spaces, the facility is fully equipped to teach students the ins and outs of food production.
They come to the farm, they're involved in the production of food items that go back into our school kitchen and then provide a hot lunch for our students each day.
Science and hospitality extensions also available, as well as work placement opportunities to broaden their horizons.
For any student who does a vet course on our site or a package of learning on our site, is that we're aiming to have a minimum of 2 school-based apprenticeships for the right students in those programs.
And while the students here today might be itching to get their hands on the new amenities, there are still a few touch-ups to be made before the school bell officially rings. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
The Launceston Tornadoes and Hobart Chargers have criticised the NBL1's scheduling of finals. The Tawns unhappy with short turnarounds in deciding games, while the Chargers have questioned why their grand final is being played in Melbourne, despite finishing top of the table. The championship game, Hobart versus Mount Gambier in suburban Melbourne.
The top seed should host the home final.
The seemingly bewildering grand final venue was pre-arranged by the league, something the Chargers want reviewed next year.
I wish it was here in Tas, man, because we just like to have the presence of our home crowd.
On court, the Chargers will have Jared Bairstow and Sam McDaniel at their disposal before they make a mad dash to Devonport post-game for Jack Jumpers pre-season. The team senses, though, it has a championship combination.
I asked coach and I asked the team what they needed me to do. They said, man, we got a lot of the things covered because we're so well. We just need you to do these small things. And I said, okay, I'm willing to do that because I want to win games.
They've won 19 of their 24 this season, and that's made players like AJ Harris keen to return.
Just the family here, the Hobart Chargers, they welcome me with open arms. It's a family here.
Saturday night's game will be shown at Hobart Swisher for fans unable to head across. It's a chance to add more silverware to their last victory in 2018.
I just want them to go out and enjoy the moment, and hopefully again that we come back with another Hobart Chargers championship.
While reality is setting in for the Launceston Tornadoes after a crushing overtime defeat in the preliminary final.
We're all devastated because we believe we're the best team in the competition and we're really expected to play in the grand final.
Coach Sarah Veal says the finals format needs to be overhauled to give both semi-finalists the same amount of rest before the prelim.
The other crossover final between Mount Gambier and Waverley in the women's, they played Friday, Sunday, we played Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. It needs to be a level playing field.
What's worse, a shock rule change has crushed rising star Michaela Bingley's college basketball dream hours after she arrived in America. Authorities there now deem NBL1 semi-professional, meaning Bingley can't compete in the amateur college system. And there's no word yet on whether Keely Frolling, Kelsey Griffin and Mariana Tolo will be re-signed next season. The Old Scholars Football Association Grand Final will see two of the competition's bitter rivals battle it out. Hutchins and Dosa will clash in the decider for the first time since 2014. Dosa was minor premier this year but fell to the Lions in the semis before scraping past St Virgil's in last weekend's preliminary final.
First 15 is really good, and then just that drop off. You just got to keep it. You know, it's a hot game of footy, and you've got to play that full 4 quarters. So we've just got to stay up for longer.
When you get two good sides and they're both at full strength, anything can happen, and I think half the battle's getting there.
First bounce is 2 p.m. on Saturday at North Hobart Oval. And the Tasmania Devils return to NAB League duty this weekend with a qualifying final against Bendigo. The Devils thumped the Pioneers in the regular season, but both sides have made changes to their squad since then. Despite finishing second, Tasmania can't rest on its laurels, with each final a cutthroat contest. The coach says
sort of not setting up for finals, but we've been making sure that each week we go in that we're right on the line, and it'll be no different this weekend. So yeah, we're embracing the challenge.
The match takes place at Princes Park in Melbourne on Saturday. Matthew Wade survived a team collapse to hit a sensational 81 off 42 balls in the 100.
You could just hear it off the sound of the bat, and I think it's got out of Lords. That is a monster.
After coming in at 2 for 2, the Tasmanian didn't leave the crease until the Birmingham Phoenix were at 8 for 118. The Phoenix won, but it might not be enough to secure them a final spot. And Tasmania's top off-road rider, Kyron Bacon, is moving up the ranks in France. Riding for Yamaha in the International 6 Days of Enduro, Bacon moved up to 30th outright on day 2, the second fastest of the Australians behind Daniel Milner. Bacon is currently leading the E1 class back home in the Australian Off-Road Championship. This is his first time competing overseas, so making fantastic progress is Bacon in his career, Kim.
Good evening, Hobart, Friendly Beaches and Dunalley all on our top of 19 today. Launceston 16, Burnie 17, Devonport a high of 15 degrees. Temperatures sat between 2 and 5 above average, but it is late in the month. Grove and Bushy Park 18, St Helens 17, Strawn and the Islands 15, Lowhead 14 today and Lyawini 12. Partly cloudy with a few light showers over the west as cloud gathered mostly over the west and north, but plenty of patchy cloud elsewhere too. A large area of high cloud is over central Australia and patchy low cloud over the Queensland coast and southern parts of the mainland. Tomorrow, a cold front crosses Tasmania, a couple of troughs over the mainland and double banger high there moves south of WA. Winds northwesterly, firstly up to 30 knots over the west and south, but shifting west-southwesterly with the passage of the front, swells up to 5 metres. A strong wind warning has been issued for waters between Tasman Island and Sandy Cape. Hobart, a high of 13 and showery. 12 for Cygnet with showers easing, showers for Norfolk and 13 degrees. Launceston a high of 15 with showery weather, Devonport the same and 14 the top for Campbelltown. Burnie expecting 13 degrees and showers. Showers for Strawn 13 and 14 the top for Smithton. St Helens tomorrow 15 degrees with showers increasing. A little bit of wet weather for Swansea, 16 the top and 15 for Fingal. On Friday, a few showers over the Bass Strait Islands along with the west and south, partly cloudy for the north and east. Showers easing from the west on Saturday with fine partly cloudy weather for the remainder, and on Sunday a shower or two for Hobart and Strawn, fine after patchy frost elsewhere. A sunny 23 in Perth, partly cloudy and 16 in Adelaide, 16 as well in Melbourne, but a few showers later, a possible shower in Sydney, partly cloudy in Brisbane, sunny in Darwin. Mostly clear and 14 in Hobart, 12 right now in Launceston, bit of cloud over Devonport and 12 degrees. Kim, I've hit a midweek slump, got nothing for you. I'll try tomorrow.
Okay, work on it. Thanks, Murph.